Across the country in 2020, Black people and other advocates protesting Floyd's murder and the broader web of anti-Black racism did the same. In Little Rock, Arkansas, protesters marched down I-630, a highway that had displaced large segments of Little Rock's established Black community and helped cut the city in two. In Memphis, Tennessee, protesters took to I-40, a highway that had eliminated hundreds of Black homes and Black businesses. And in Cincinnati, Ohio, protesters stood on I-75, which decades earlier had flattened the predominantly Black West End neighborhood. It was no coincidence that people were using highways to tell the world to stop, listen, and understand. Achieving transportation justice will not be easy, but there are reasons for hope. Nothing, not even a road, is truly permanent. Segments of the interstate highway system built in the 1950s and 1960s are either past or approaching the end of their useful lives. Many such segments are surrounded by predominantly Black communities that are still fighting to overcome the harm caused by the highways when they were originally built. In 2021, President Joe Biden and members of his administration promised to ensure that new infrastructure projects funded with federal dollars would explicitly adopt the goal of promoting racial equity in transportation and work to redress the harms of past projects. The Biden administration's commitment to a new approach to highway development was the culmination of decades of advocacy by communities who repeatedly find themselves facing the wrecking ball. Since the 1960s, the so-called highway revolts have brought together environmentalists, preservationists, and supporters of public transportation in an off-and-on alliance with racial justice advocates to change the future of our transportation infrastructure. However, despite this ostensible progress, the new approach shows just how much it will take to overcome the past. Even with new protections in place, Black communities are still sometimes viewed as the path of least resistance. Also, it takes time for complex new infrastructure projects to get off the ground. There is the risk that a different set of lawmakers at the federal level could undo the work of the Biden administration. The possibility that government officials will once again achieve progress for some on the backs of others remains acute. How do we break the link between transportation and racial inequality? The final chapter of this book suggests how we might begin to do so. A shift in national policy, including reimagining how we use transportation and infrastructure to serve and support communities of color, is a critical step in reversing the historical exclusion of Black Americans. I hope this book provides deeper understanding of how we got here and shines a light on how we can move forward.